A heavy thud hits the ground behind Chen Bai. His head jerks in surprise, but his body responds just in time. His fist meets the creature's punch mid-air, and their power clashes like a thunderstorm. Baphomet doesn't stand a chance at that moment. The oversized goat flies backward like a sack of garbage tossed off a cliff. Chen Bai transforms his arm. Flesh twists and reshapes into a sharp curved blade, smooth and deadly. With a quick motion, he swings it across Baphomet's chest, tearing a deep wound. The beast crashes onto the ground, making the floor tremble beneath its bulk. Chen Bai looks down at the motionless monster. For a moment, it seems like the fight is already over. But then something strange starts happening. The body doesn't stay still. It begins to sink into the floor like it's melting into the ground itself. Chen Bai notices, but not fast enough. He throws a punch, hoping to land a finishing blow, but the creature vanishes before his fist connects. It leaves behind no flesh, no bones, just a splash of red that quickly fades. The realization hits him. What he just fought wasn't the real Baphomet. That thing turned into blood, most likely a clone, just a dirty trick made to waste his energy and slow him down. Typical coward move. This so-called beast lord hides behind illusions like a scared puppy in a costume shop. Chen Bai shakes his head. His knowledge about beast sovereigns is barely more than a few scattered stories, but now he knows one thing: he will have to learn fast or get left behind. After 10 minutes of walking through the dark maze, he steps into an ancient hall. The air here feels thick, like the place remembers pain. Echoes of heavy footsteps bounce through the chamber. Thump, thump, something waits just beyond the old stone wall. A shadow flickers, huge, sharp, and hungry. There it is again. The real Baphomet steps out from the dark, no longer pretending. It charges like a wild animal with zero brain cells, horns ready to stab. But Chen Bai plants his feet and grabs those ugly horns with both hands. The monster tries to push forward, but Chen Bai holds him in place. He doesn't waste time. His spiritual perception activates. A flood of information pours in. What he sees makes his eyes narrow. Baphomet has grown much stronger. Not just a little, 5 times stronger in every way. Strength, speed, toughness, spirit. It's all multiplied. Turns out this oversized goat isn't just dumb, it's also cursed with an ability called Gladiator God Battle First Surge. Basically, the more it enjoys fighting, the stronger it becomes. Like a gym bro who grows muscles just by flexing in front of a mirror. 5 times is the limit, and this clown has already hit that cap. Chen Bai keeps his grip tight. This is no time for holding back. The real fight starts now. The Baphomet breaks free from his grip with a burst of power that shakes the ground. That blow isn't just strong, it's absurd. Chen Bai realizes something right away. This creature is only at level 2, and already its power feels unfair, like some cheat code comes to life. Chen Bai doesn't wait. He immediately uses his ground thorns technique, and as a result, thick dark thorns rise from the ground around him. They shoot up like angry spikes, piercing through the Baphomet from every direction. The beast gets pinned to the spot, stuck like a fly in a trap. Chen Bai takes a moment to think. It makes sense now. When he first stepped into the maze, this thing must have been only level 1. That explains how he overpowered it the first time. Now things are different. Time keeps crawling forward. Baphomet doesn't just heal, it evolves. Soon it reaches level 3. Chen Bai lands a heavy punch straight into its stomach. The blow lands clean, but it does nothing. It's like punching a wall of steel wrapped in muscle. And the worst part? The creature is now even bigger. Every level up makes it grow like some sort of ugly bodybuilding contest with no off switch. The fight turns into a horrible game of hide and seek. They clash again and again. Baphomet keeps leveling up, refusing to go down. Eventually, it reaches level 4. This time it isn't charging, it just sits by a wall, calm and smug, like it knows how hopeless this battle is becoming. Honestly, it looks like a demon goat trying to act wise after eating half a gym. Chen Bai starts noticing something important. The deeper he walks into the maze, the stronger this oversized furball becomes. Every step forward means more danger. He does the math in his head. From level 1 to level 5, it's taken around 3 kilometers. At level 5, Baphomet's stats are ridiculous. Strength hitting 400,000, agility jumping to over 300,000, constitution through the roof, and spirit just as wild. And to make things worse, it has some fancy anti-magic ability like a final boss cheat. Chen Bai stands over the fallen beast, gasping for air. His body screams from exhaustion. This single creature at level 5 already matches him in raw power. That alone is bad enough. But then comes the real horror. He realizes this isn't the end. There are 10 levels total, which means he has to fight 10 different versions of this same horned nightmare. Each one stronger than the last. It's like a bad dream that forgot to end. Exhausted from the brutal struggle, Chen Bai drags his weary body onward and finally encounters the level 10 Baphomet. Chen Bai leans against a cold stone wall, every breath heavy and sharp, but he doesn't stop. Now isn't the time to give up. Not when things are just getting serious. After 30 minutes of endless fighting, Chen Bai finally crashes onto a cold stone slab. His body refuses to move any further. A sharp horn sticks out from his stomach, the pain burning like fire. He reaches for it, trying to pull it out, his face twisting from the agony. This fight isn't just hard, it's completely insane. Every time Baphomet levels up, its power shoots higher than anything he expected. It's like someone gave this beast a cheat sheet and forgot to tell him. A loud whooshing sound fills the air. Another Baphomet, now at level 7, comes flying toward him like a missile. Its eyes glow red, full of rage and ugly confidence. This thing clearly thinks it's invincible. Chen Bai's chest tightens, not just from fear, but from knowing he's almost at his limit. Pain explodes through his body again. He tries to analyze the enemy, but his spirit is drained. His spirit sense doesn't work anymore, but his instincts scream the truth. This Baphomet is far stronger than him. Its stats are nearly twice his own. This isn't just a beast anymore, it's a full-blown nightmare with horns and no manners. The creature crashes into him like a speeding subway train, slamming him deep into the stone. Dust and rock fly everywhere. His bones feel like they might snap. His vision blurs, but something unexpected happens. The hourglass around his neck lifts into the air. It glows with a strange golden light. Chen Bai's thoughts rush all at once. He notes he's losing badly. Even his virus skill would take too long to weaken this beast. In this moment of desperation, he activates the hourglass. Time rewinds. His body resets. His wounds vanish. The pain fades. He finds himself lying on the cold ground again, right at the entrance of the maze, exactly where he started. This moment feels like a second chance. His heart calms. He breathes deeper. He knows what's coming now. This time, he won't rush and swinging like before. He sharpens his focus. He prepares for a new plan. His eyes narrow with resolve. He thinks carefully. What if he doesn't kill the lower-level Baphomets at all? Maybe, just maybe, that's the key to breaking the pattern. System notification appears, Baphomet level 1. Chen Bai lures the roaring beast down a narrow corridor. The idea is clever. Bring it close to where the level 2 version should appear, and then trick them into fighting each other like a pair of wild animals fighting over a toy. But things don't go as planned. He stops and waits. Nothing shows up. The air stays still. Confusion creeps into his face. The second Baphomet doesn't appear at all. He stands there blinking, looking around like someone who just missed their bus. And then, without warning, the entire world around him twists. The scenery warps, and he is yanked forward with insane speed, flying through floors like someone pressed the fast-forward button. In seconds, he passes the level 7 zone and ends up in a place he's never seen before. The maze looks unfamiliar. The walls feel darker. His eyes narrow with suspicion. He wonders if something very basic just broke the entire system. Could avoiding a fight with the first Baphomet really let him skip everything? That idea feels too simple, too stupid. But maybe that's exactly why it works. His thoughts are still turning when a shiver runs down his spine. Behind him, the air bends. Something massive appears, quiet but full of killing intent. Chen Bai turns fast, but not fast enough. A huge fist is already in front of his face. The monster wastes no time. It throws a brutal punch, starting a new round of chaos. Chen Bai doesn't hesitate. His hand flies to the glowing hourglass. He activates it in the nick of time. The power of time pushes him back. His heart beats like a war drum. That strike almost killed him. That thing moved faster than anything he could react to. He lands back at the maze entrance, cold sweat covering his skin. That wasn't just some regular brute. That Baphomet felt like a level 8 or maybe even worse. And this time, the lower-level versions didn't even show up. After being killed and dragged back through time again and again, the truth finally begins to click in Chen Bai's mind. The pattern isn't random. This labyrinth has only one Baphomet. Just one. And it is always the same monster. Growing, chasing, learning. If he kills it early, it doesn't really die. It just respawns deeper, with more strength. If he lets it live, it would relentlessly pursue him like a gym rat who got denied protein powder. A clear strategy begins to form in Chen Bai's mind. He imagines a mental map of the maze. Near the entrance, the Baphomet is weak, almost pathetic. Its stats are low, its attacks are sloppy, and its arrogance is bigger than its actual strength. That early version could be finished off easily, but the real problem begins later. The deeper it follows him into the labyrinth, the more power it stacks up, like some boss fight on steroids. Every few steps deeper, its attributes skyrocket. Strength, speed, endurance, all of them explode like fireworks. If he keeps moving forward without a plan, it's only a matter of time before the beast catches up, looking like a demon version of a gym influencer trying to trend on monster TikTok. Chen Bai knows what he must do. He has time. Not much, but just enough. That means one thing: he can finally make use of the virus. The Baphomet may grow stronger physically, but if its mind collapses from within, all that power becomes useless. He opens his system screen and studies it with care. What comes next might change everything. A new skill catches his eye. It came after unlocking telekinesis, but he never paid it much attention before. Now it looks like a game changer. This ability allows him to split his spirit into tiny worms, yes, spirit worms. Once these worms infect a target, the enemy's mental stability drops fast. Not just a small dip, but a full collapse. It creates a storm of negative emotions, the kind that messes up thoughts and leads to full-blown mental chaos. In extreme cases, it could even push someone toward total self-destruction. For the first time in a while, hope returns. This dumb, overgrown goat has been buffing itself with some weird, hormone-fueled battle high. But no matter how strong it becomes, if its mind falls apart, then it's just a walking bag of muscles with no control. Chen Bai realizes that these negative emotions can suppress the unnatural strength boosts of Baphomet. And once that happens, it's game over for this ugly beast. With confidence returning to his eyes, he steps into the maze again. His walk is calm. His mind is focused. Baphomet might be charging through the levels like some unstoppable gym freak, but now the tables have turned. This time, Chen Bai isn't running. This time, he's hunting. Chen Bai grabs the Baphomet by its horn and starts running like he's dragging a sack of potatoes. The creature struggles, but at level 1, it's too weak to resist. It probably still thinks it's scary with its big horns, but right now it's just a powerless goat with muscles that don't matter. Chen Bai keeps pulling it along the maze, speaking to it like it's some lost kid who needs encouragement to grow up. The sarcasm is thick. Eventually, they reach the center of the maze. There, without wasting time, Chen Bai finishes the creature off. The body drops, but the fight is far from over. The beast doesn't stay dead. It reappears almost instantly, reborn at level 2. Now it's bigger and louder, and the system shows all of its abilities have been multiplied by 3. The monster charges in full of pride, but it's still useless. Chen Bai easily dodges the attacks. Then something unexpected happens. The big scary goat starts coughing like it's got a chest cold. Panic spreads across its face. Its attacks stop. It starts to shake. Status info confirms it. This fool is infected with a lung disease. Every second, its stats drop lower, breathing becomes harder, movement slows down, and it can't stop coughing. On top of that, the mental worm in its head is driving it toward emotional breakdown. It's now both sick and sad, basically the weakest boss of all time. Baphomet stumbles and kneels, still coughing and cursing. Chen Bai watches with calm confidence. It all makes sense now. Leveling up didn't remove the infection or the mental damage. That's because its level up isn't healing. It's more like breaking a limit. But if the base is already cracked, then powering up only makes the crash bigger. Victory feels close. 1 hour passes, and in the maze center arena, Chen Bai grabs the wheezing beast and hurls it high into the air. He already knows what he's doing. Each level up gives it more strength, but doing it midair limits its ability to defend. He keeps doing this again and again, forcing level after level until the monster hits level 9. Then comes the next clash. This time, Chen Bai uses his sword. The attack is sharp and full of energy, but for the first time it gets blocked. Baphomet raises a giant poleaxe and meets the blow with a loud crash. The weapon shakes the arena. Chen Bai steps back, surprised. Just a moment ago, this thing was barely standing, and now it's matching his strikes. Rage pours out of the beast like smoke from a volcano. Its entire body glows red with fury. Its stats are now sky high, maybe even higher than before. But then Chen Bai looks at the system info again. The lung infection is still active. It never went away. He finally understands level 10 unlocks something else, an extra ability called Indestructible Body. No wonder the stats have jumped again. Something strange happens. The loud, violent monster who was once roaring and swinging weapons now sits down in front of Chen Bai like a tired statue. Its voice sounds slow and dull. It starts talking nonsense about how fighting is boring and pointless. It looks like a retired gym trainer who just realized protein shakes won't fix a broken heart. The system screen flashes with a clear update. The mental worm is still active. Emotional disturbance is at its peak. Depression, self-doubt, and extreme pessimism have fully taken over. Chen Bai watches closely and thinks to himself the parasite worked perfectly. The beast is not just infected, it's spiraling. A monster that once smashed without blinking is now sitting there talking like a washed-up philosopher. The monster keeps talking. It lies down, sighing like it's giving up on the world. Apparently, it destroyed 44 levels of the abyss just because it was obsessed with battle. Back then, it thought it was cool. Now it thinks it was just being stupid. For a creature that used to scream with bloodlust, it now speaks like a washed-up villain who regrets every decision. Chen Bai listens quietly, then plays along. He suggests skipping the fight and just letting him pass the level. To his surprise, Baphomet agrees. It no longer cares. It says its entire life has been nothing but battle and more battle. Now even living feels pointless, like it's just wasting oxygen with every breath. That's when the truth hits Chen Bai. This goat-brained lunatic was the one who destroyed those 44 levels. And now it's crying about life choices. He almost wants to laugh. The conversation keeps going. Baphomet reveals something important. It can be revived over and over again with full health, right here in this maze. Even if it dies, it will come back like nothing happened. Normally, that would be terrifying, but right now, it sounds more like a punishment. Chen Bai doesn't panic. He calmly points out that the same rule applies to him. If either of them dies, they both return. But Baphomet says something unexpected. It believes real victory comes when someone admits defeat willingly. Then it pauses, asking if Chen Bai thinks it's mentally broken now. The answer is obvious. Chen Bai tells him the truth, just a little twisted. Honestly, the beast has gone from being a muscle-bound monster to a dramatic wreck in record time. He reflects for a moment. That was way too close. If the beast had respawned with all its mental problems erased, it would have turned into an unstoppable monster again. And he'd be dead in seconds. Now Baphomet lies there like a tired old warrior who just wants to be left alone. It says it surrenders. It doesn't want to fight anymore. It wants to reflect on life, maybe find a new hobby, like gardening or goat yoga. A system message appears right after. Level 279 is complete. Chen Bai is now asked to choose his recovery time. Chen Bai finds himself back in the rest space. His body sinks into the soft bed, but his mind stays alert. That last battle nearly broke him. He thinks back to it, trying to measure the danger. The final stats of that horned maniac Baphomet were probably sitting around 3,000 per attribute. Compared to that, his own average stats, barely over 500, seem laughable. If it wasn't for the mental worm, he'd be fertilizer in the maze right now. The skill saved his life, plain and simple. Now that the first so-called god has been taken down, his mind begins to drift to the next challenge. If that depressed goat was just the beginning, what kind of overgrown freak show is coming next? Soon a new system alert pops up, flashing across his screen. It's a warning. Abyss level 350. This isn't just another floor. It's a towering structure, one massive column, like a pillar holding up the world. Giant chunks of land float around it, connected like pieces of a broken puzzle. In the distance, the largest landmass draws his attention. That's where the Eye of the Abyss sits, watching like some creepy cosmic camera. Every level after the first now carries these strange cone-shaped eyes hanging from the sky. They hover upside down with volcano-shaped craters rising from the ground below. Thick purple beams stretch between them, surrounded by twisting black energy that looks alive. Chen Bai steps into this bizarre new realm. His first thought focuses on the one skill that's carried him so far. The mental worm continues to be a game-changer. Since clearing level 279, he's only had to retreat 3 times. For the Abyss, that's almost a miracle. But level 350 gives him a bad feeling. Something about this place feels heavier. Just when the thought finishes, a figure appears ahead. The system identifies it quickly. Level 350, Serpent Demon Lord, World Devourer, Winifred, level 10. And the special rule is to survive the 9-headed trial. Failure means death. Of course. Chen Bai doesn't even get a moment to process before the monster appears. The enormous serpent rises like a nightmare, its body coiling with power, and 9 massive heads swaying in the air like it's showing off. One of the heads slithers closer to him, smirking like it's already won. It makes a proud announcement, calling first dibs on killing him like it's some kind of party game. This thing is the second god, the legendary World Devourer, a beast that holds the power of endless hunger. Chen Bai quickly accepts the truth. He knows almost nothing about this monster. No tricks, no background, no real plan. He's probably going to die. Several times. The 9th head of the serpent leans in close, speaking in a soft, almost flirty tone. It looks at Chen Bai with wide eyes full of fake curiosity, asking what kind of trial would suit him. Then it makes a weird comment about his appearance, asking him if he is the most handsome man among humans. Apparently, this snake has been spending too much time watching human romance dramas. Chen Bai keeps a straight face and responds with smooth charm. He compliments the snake like it's royalty at a beauty contest. He praises its shiny scales, its glowing eyes, and even the ridiculous flower blooming on top of its head like a fashion disaster. His words hit the mark. The ninth head lights up like a shy schoolgirl, clearly flattered. It declares Chen Bai has passed the test with flying colors. Politeness apparently beats power in this snake's book. Chen Bai bows and continues the performance, calling it a lovely lady. The head giggles, blushing like this is a rom-com and not a life-or-death trial. Next, the ninth head nudges the eighth awake. The eighth rises slowly, yawning like someone who overslept for class. Its test is the simplest yet. It asked a basic math question, something any 5-year-old would answer. Chen Bai says the obvious answer, and just like that, he passes again. This one reminds him of the fallen angel from level 200, fancy title, Zero Actual Danger. Now the seventh head speaks up. This one is different. It sounds like a hippie with too much love for flowers and sunshine. It says it doesn't like fighting and wants to come up with a better test, something peaceful. The voice drifts off, and before it can even think, heads 5 and 6 cut in. They're tired of waiting. Head 5 speaks first. It says it controls water. Head 6 jumps in, claiming it rules over fire. Both of them sound like angry siblings fighting over who gets the last cookie. Chen Bai asks what kind of test they have for him. But instead of a proper trial, the two heads start arguing. Head 5 complains that fire doesn't respect water. It wants Chen Bai to agree that fire is dumb for not understanding that water can easily put out fire. The firehead snaps back, calling water weak and bragging that flames can burn through anything. The argument turns toward him. Both ask Chen Bai to choose his side. Basically, they want to know who's right and who's foolish. Chen Bai realizes this isn't just a question. It's a trap. One wrong answer and he could get burned or drowned. And that was it from today's video. I hope that you liked the video, and if you did, hit that like button as the goal for today is 1,500 likes. Comment next part down below to see what happens next. Also, consider subscribing with the notification bell on to get notified as soon as a new video drops onto the channel. You can also join the channel to support me financially and watch videos before public release. I'll meet you in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching.